There is nothing better for your body when it comes to repair and relaxing than a good night's sleep. I know people for generations, millennia even, have been recovering their body through whatever strenuous stuff that they put through it throughout the entire day. They've been recovering best with sleep. That is not to throw any shade at a sauna or a hot tub or a massage or a chiropractor adjustment. It's just the best way to take care of yourself. If you do some strenuous activities, if you're eating correctly, how do you properly make that diet work for you? How do you properly get the most gains out of the exercise that you do? You top it off with a very restful night of sleep. So guess what we have here? A whole bunch of habits to help change your bad habits, because I'm sure, you know what? Yeah, I'm sure you have the best of intentions to wake up early in the morning, take full advantage of the day. Heck, maybe you even want to start working out first thing in the morning, and you got to set that alarm a little bit too early than what you're initially comfortable with, but you see it goes off, and you think, tomorrow. You grab another half hour of sleep or whatever. So what are some ways to fix this? We got the Sleep Association pulled up. So this is from the experts. And I just think that they're pretty good anyway. So we're going to run down them. Exercising too close to bedtime. Yes, I used to train after work. Okay, I had a day job for way too long and I hated it tremendously. And I'd be there. I thought I would have to wake up too early in the morning. I eventually fixed that because, hey, I have several non-negotiables in my life, and exercise is 100% one of those. So I'd have to get to work. I'd have to be at work for 7:30 in the morning. Wouldn't leave until 5 o'clock. Some days, it depends on how far across the country I'd have to drive, and could be back at 5, shortly after 5, 5:30. It was not fun, and I don't regret leaving there whatsoever. And then go to the gym afterwards and train for by the time I get there, and then by the time I drive home, it would be a 3-hour endeavor. Didn't have a lot of time to myself, but I always found that, yes, because after that you'd eat, you'd have your dinner, and then you'd have just, you wouldn't be making any gains, you wouldn't be making any, appropriate losses, because you'd be all worn, or you'd be all worked up. You'd have your cortisol spike from doing the exercise, and then you'd immediately hit it with a whole bunch of insulin because you're breaking a fast from the day, and then you're having your big dinner at the end of it, and you're just kind of spinning your wheels. You're just running hard on the treadmill. You're just doing squats for nothing, just to create a hormonal imbalance. So I decided, guess what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to grab those miles, and I'm just going to grab those plates first thing in the morning. And then my evenings, I'd be able to come home. I'd be able to stretch out. I'd be able to do a little yoga if I wanted to. I'd be able to grab a good book, sit down for half an hour to an hour if I wanted to. And then changing that timing. Sure, it made me a really fun individual by going to sleep at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening. And overall, maybe it wasn't the best decision, because during the week I'd be waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then on the weekends I'd be waking up at like 9 or 10 because I hated my job and I just wanted to escape from it for a while. But this is not about me. This is, once again, maybe you guys relate to that. So maybe we can kind of, bridge the gap on that one. But let's go back to the topic at hand, shall we? Exercising too close to bedtime. Consider doing it in the morning. Or if you have whatever you have, the additional 8 hours after you're done work in the day, maybe consider going to the gym right after. Maybe come home right after work, immediately put on your gym shoes, change into your clothing, and then go for a run. Because that's what the studies have really shown out is the best course of action. Exercise is great for overall health. In fact, regular exercise can help improve sleep, but it is important to time your workout so it does not interfere with falling asleep. If you work too close to bedtime, it can act as a stimulant and keep you from falling asleep. That's when I brought up cortisol and the different stress hormones that get induced in your body, because you are putting your body through, and this might be a little bit of a mind-expanding moment, but when you exercise, you're putting your body in a fight or flight response, and you're exerting a lot of stress, and a lot of hormones get activated because of it. If you're hitting the gym in the evening, make sure 3 to 4 hours before you plan to hit the hay. If you guys are like normal people and not totally obsessed with the gym because it's the only thing that you feel that you have control over, so that you just need to obsess over it, I don't know, I'm just vocalizing that. Nothing to it. Don't look into it any further. But if you're only doing an hour, you have some leeway, okay? Even if you got to drive to the gym and you got to drive home during rush hour traffic and you just want to push that off to 7 o'clock, you're training from 7 to 8, you go to bed at midnight, and then you're up and then you got to go to work because you work a normal 9 to 5, not a 7:30 to 5. Enough about me. This is about you guys, okay? So if you work extended hours, if it's feasible, if you want to make it a priority for yourself, keep that in mind. You need to have that little buffer so your body can return to a state of homeostasis. Scanning your phone in bed, yeah, it's just bad for a multitude of reasons. Let's see what they bring up, because there's the radio waves that electronic equipments emit, which it kind of seems a little bit new wavy, a little too hippy dippy, if I'm to bring back an old saying from like the 80s, but whatever. But that's legitimate. And then there's also little blue light blockers that you can put on any of your electronic devices that remove the blue light, which also stimulates a response in your retina that tells you that it's light outside, and your body is evolutionarily programmed to be awake when it's light outside. Because I'm going to blow some more minds here. Cavemen didn't have alarm clocks. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? And they would just wake up when the sun came up, and then they knew it was time to go to bed when the sun went down. When the big fireball in the sky went down over horizon, time for nap. They'd do other things too, but those are stories for another channel. Many of us are tired to our phone, my mistake. But before you check email once more before bed, consider how screen time affects your sleep. Also, yeah, what you're checking, because you can put on just some white noise, you can have some water running, and if you're drinking too much water close to bedtime, that's probably not a good decision, but you have a little campfire app that you just have for some white noise or something like that. That's a heck of a lot different than checking a work email, which could put you in another state of stress by eliciting some hormone responses as well. So that's another reason why it could be bad. Exposure to bright light from your cell phone, tablet, or notebook can trick your body into thinking it's daytime. While you're exposed to light, melatonin, which helps regulate sleep, may be suppressed. That's fairly well studied, and that has been proven can be suppressed, and make falling asleep more difficult. Consider making a bedroom tech-free zone, or at least shut off your devices and limit screen time to about an hour or two before bed. That's when I would recommend, if you like reading, if you want to just have a nice relaxation time. I've got quite a little burgeoning library of books over there. Right before bed, I like to do a little bit of writing, a little bit of journaling from the day, or also just pick up a book and grab a chapter. So it just knocks you out like that. Late night eating. I would just say, even before reading this, 2 hours before your planned bedtime, stop. It's done. It's over. Try again tomorrow. If you're craving something, it doesn't matter. It's going to throw off everything. Okay. It's the worst thing you can do. If there's one takeaway from this, 2 hours before bed, no compromises. Zero. None. Trainer's orders. Have you gotten into the habit of eating dinner late at night or having a heavy snack before bed? No. If so, late night eating can affect sleep. For example, lying down shortly after eating a heavy meal or eating acidic, greasy, or fried foods can cause heartburn. Yes, even if you don't suffer from acid reflux, it will find you if you put yourself in the right conditions. Also, if you're eating or drinking foods that contain caffeine, a stimulant. Really? Also, don't go out to the club. And I know you guys might hate cocaine and just like what it smells like, and try to go to bed right after that. Anywho, it can also interfere with falling asleep. Caffeine can interfere. Okay, you guys are doing some great work here. If you're hungry at bedtime, go ahead and have a snack, but keep it light. I would just say don't. Maybe try to have a drink of water. Perhaps you're just a little bit parched and your body is mixing signals because maybe you're, I don't know, just kind of in a delirious state where you're kind of tired, and then you think, oh, maybe I'm a little bit hungry. You're probably just a little bit thirsty. Maybe just go ahead and grab a drink, okay? Just enough to whet your whistle. A small snack containing protein and carbs. Oh no. Protein. Maybe. Carbohydrates, we could get into the whole bunch of other stuff. It'll start simulating ATP production. It'll start initiating the Krebs cycle. I'd stay away from that. Maybe a little bit of protein. Maybe. Or by carbohydrates, they mean vegetables. Something that is nutrient dense. That would be, if you're going to do anything, something like that, some kind of a beef and broccoli, but not like Chinese food beef and broccoli. Let's be real. Working right up until bedtime. Yeah. Again, for the exact same reasons, you shouldn't be scanning your phone before bed. Radio waves play a factor, and then also just stimulating your neocortex to be thinking about work or a stressful situation, or just getting into a fight on social media with somebody you don't even know with an anime avatar. It's probably not the best choice of actions. Staying up late or sleeping in on the weekends, that throws off your circadian rhythms 100%. If you have a typical Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, your sleep schedule may be different on the weekends. Don't, though. Really don't, okay? And if you're going to compromise in one direction or another, keep the same waking hour, okay? That is the one that needs to be concrete. You throw that off, you risk depression, you risk anxiety. That might seem like a lofty cautionary tale, but if you stay up a little bit later, yeah, you might be a little bit more tired when you wake up, but hey, that'll at least serve a purpose, okay? Because whenever your sleep schedule starts to slip, it's always in the morning. I will guarantee it's always in the morning. I'm sure that there are a couple of outliers that would say that, oh no, I can just go ahead and reset at a moment's notice. It doesn't matter if I sleep until noon this one time. It'll throw you off. It'll make you feel worse for doing it as well, especially if you're exceptionally industrious and dutiful, like if that's how your Big Five personality traits just kind of map out. But again, another topic for another day. Although that extra sleep on Saturday morning might feel good, it may disrupt your body's natural rhythm, the circadian rhythm. Consistency is key to developing sleep patterns that improve the quality of your sleep, so consider sticking to the same sleep schedule, even on weekends. That's why you just want to pick something that can be consistent, right? There's nothing wrong with waking up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning and then going to bed at 8 or 9. That's fine. It's just, if you think that you can do that, also think that you're going to have to keep doing that until you want to make another long-term change. But again, there's nothing wrong with waking up extremely early, beating that sunrise up. I did for years. And once you get used to it, you feel pretty cool knowing that you're accomplishing some stuff while everybody else is lying in bed. But that's the way I'm wired. Maybe you're not. Or, of course, their final point that they have here, having a couple of drinks before bed. No, just no. As you guys might be aware, I don't know if I've made it public over on this channel, and it's not something that I keep private at all. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't engage in extracurricular narcotic activities. I live a fairly boring life where I just cut YouTube videos, rant about politics or rant about health, and try to help people's lives and make sense of the insanity that is going on in modern society. Also delve a little bit into sports and pop culture and stuff. But when it comes to, I don't know, partying and what regular people consider a good time, I'm very, very, very much a square when it comes to that. See, even my vernacular kind of indicates as such. What do they got here? Some people having a nightcap is part of their bedtime routine. Alcohol is a sedative, but does it make you sleep better? The answer is no. Oh, darn. That glass or two of wine. Why would you have 2 glasses of wine before bed? That just doesn't make sense. It's just loaded with empty calories. Anyways, but as it is metabolized, it can disrupt your slumber later. Consider skipping the nightcap. Thanks for your very pertinent points. Yeah, alcohol is legitimately empty calories, okay? Because the way that each gram of the macronutrients, you got carbohydrates, which clock in at 3 calories per, no, it's 5. Oh, they must have updated this since I last learned it, or maybe I'm just misremembering. You know, a lot of information goes in and out of this head on a daily basis. 4 calories per gram of carbohydrate. Same with protein. I remember it being less, but okay, 4 grams for that. and then 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. And that's why, normally you just get satiated more on fatty foods. Hopefully you're indulging in good for you fats, like if you're going to have a snack, some dark chocolate, or if you're going to have a fatty cut of fish, it's high in omega-6. Or if you're going to have some table nuts like macadamias, which are high in omega-6s. These are all things that are high in fat, but they're good fat. They're good for you. They're working for you. They are nutritionally dense with micronutrients. You just need to know that how that calories per serving number is extrapolated is by looking through all of those macronutrients. 4 for carbs, 4 for protein, 9 for fats. And then when it comes to alcohol, per milliliter, per whatever the proper terminology to shake that out is, per milliliter of alcohol, or micromilliliter, insert appropriate denomination here. You get what I mean? It's 7 calories of just nothing. Like, there's no nutritional benefit to something that your body registers as a poison. So why you be indulging in that? I don't know. It helps loosen you up. Well, I don't know. Just how about you work on yourself so you don't need to loosen up and pretend to be a different person? Another story for another time. But what are the top 10 foods that can help you sleep? According to the Sleep Association, it all starts with poultry, the big basket of avian creatures that you can defeather and then just have a beautiful feast. Thanksgiving is not too far away up here in Canada. In a couple months' time, my friends in the United States will also be participating in the great tradition. You're in good luck because you guys always, it's a story as old as time, the tryptophan and the turkey. Well, chicken also has a little bit as well because it is an amino acid, and chicken and turkey are rather lean cuts of meat, so you're in luck. An amino acid is the fundamental building blocks of protein, by the way. Tryptophan is an amino acid, thank you, that can only get from what you eat and drink. There is no supplementation for that. It is serotonin. You got to go directly to that, or melatonin as well, which can help the body make melatonin. There you go. You just got to go direct to the source. You can't work your way through the different natural occurrences that happen, especially with tryptophan. People have tried to replicate that feeling of feeling satiated after a big turkey dinner. That's just another one of those things where you should be exercising after such a large meal. But hey, we can't all be perfect or cover every topic in one video. Fish, yes, vitamin B6 is abundant in fish, along with healthy fats as well, depending on the fish that you eat. Salmon, and preferably sockeye. Very red sockeye. Anyways, that's where you get the best fats, and that's normally wild tuna, or wild salmon. Tuna is the next one that's up there. And you should also be getting high quality tuna as well, packed in water, not in oil, because often they'll just put some kind of cheap vegetable oil, even if it says packed in olive oil. Well, sometimes it's cut with vegetable oil. There's just enough olive oil in there for them to market it, but they tend to cut corners when it comes to these big fish markets, as it were. And halibut. Halibut's fine. Just stay away from tilapia. If you want to have your evening ruined, just check out how they feed tilapia. Okay? Pigs have a better diet. I'm not even over-exaggerating. But B6 is what makes melatonin, which is normally triggered from the body being in the dark, and eating fish for dinner and give you melatonin and a head start on turning out the lights. Yogurt. Calcium possesses the hormones to make you sleep, tryptophan and melatonin. Yes, that's why we covered not that long ago, this week even, electrolytes. Calcium's an electrolyte. Once your electrolytes are balanced, your sleeping patterns just get better. Totally makes sense. Kale, like yogurt and leafy green, which is rich in calcium. A lot of greens, a lot of leafy greens, the broccolis of the world, are the most efficient way to get calcium and vitamin C and vitamin K. It seems counterintuitive to what everybody's been brought up knowing, like vitamin C closely associated with oranges, but the best and most efficient way, and the way to create a surplus of vitamin C in your body, which is fine because your body has a natural mechanism to filter out too much vitamin C in your body. It's very obvious, and you'll notice it if you're definitely running a surplus of it in your body. Just if you're eating dairy for calcium, there's better ways to go about it. So, and same with bananas. We touched on that when we talked about potassium as well, and that's what they're saying. You can get potassium from that, and ergo creating tryptophan. And magnesium you can get from bananas, but again, trying to eat bananas for electrolytes is akin to eating exclusively caviar because you're hungry. It's not the most efficient way to go. Whole grains, yeah, I guess if you're going to be having carbohydrates, or especially those. Grains encourage insulin production, which will result in tryptophan activity in the brain. Yeah, just complex carbohydrates, okay? Have some oatmeal. Have something that has some protein content in it as well, so you can do some repairing of the muscles that you might have worked during the day if you had a recent exercise, if you were recently training. It'd be a great way. You can mix in. So this used to be my go-to, right, when I was consistently eating whole grains. Steel cut oatmeal, just mixed up with water, because like I said, I'm a fun guy, and then just thrown in like a half scoop of protein powder. It was deceptively good. And we'll have to talk about protein powders in the future, but this video is getting long in the tooth as it is. Honey, okay, glucose and honey will, again, it's a go-to if you're adhering to a paleo diet, but again, it's fine if you're doing that, and it's of course a much better option than just basic table sugar, but it's still sugar after all, so do be aware of that. The inflammation benefits highly outweigh attempting to get glucose in your body, which is just the available form of carbohydrates in your bloodstream. So again, they're trying to bamboozle you with words. Okay, eggs. Yeah, eggs are just great. They contain everything. Popular in the morning, but they can also make you sleepy due to having tryptophan. Everything has tryptophan. If we were going to describe and if we were going to illustrate how many micronutrients are in an egg, we'd be here for a very long time. I'll just go ahead and cut that short. And then last but not least, white rice. I couldn't disagree with you more. But hey, you guys are the Sleep Association. I just do the research. But hey, if you think that by including any of these meals, depending on your timings that you eat throughout the day, if you want to include some chicken, fish, yogurt, or really any dairy, that's what they were advocating for. Kale, I would also throw in broccoli, asparagus, those type of stocky green vegetables. Bananas, I'd say avocados, but hey, tomato. Whole grains, honey, nuts, eggs, white rice. Or again, if you're just trying to wake up early in the morning, find a purpose that makes you want to wake up early in the morning. If it's exercise, if it's your job, if it's relationship goals, plant that in your head. That is the most efficient way that you can wake up early in the morning, energized and ready to go if you have a strategy to achieve and something to go after. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.